All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to the live stream. I hope everyone's having a great Saturday morning. Let me know if my audio is okay before I really get into it. I want to make sure we get a quick audio check. And just leave a comment below. If you're new to the live stream, and people will start piling in as I go along, but if you're new, what we do in these live streams, I typically try to do them on Saturdays about 9:15, 9:30 Pacific time. I don't do them every Saturday, but I've been pretty consistent the last month, couple months really. And what we do is I give all my subscribers an opportunity to, throw some charts at me. Give me stock picks that they want me to look at the charts, analyze the charts, look for trade ideas. I try to point out the key levels and really what I'm seeing in the chart. I'll give you my read on the chart and my opinion. I can't give financial advice, yada, yada, yada. We all know the deal. But, everything on here is just my opinion. But I can give you my opinion of where I think that stock or that market or what that chart's telling me, where things are heading in the future, and how I trade it, all right? For the most part, I'm going to use, really a lot of the same analysis. Some of this is intuition and experience, but a lot of it is concepts and techniques that I teach in my stock market technical analysis and trading course. So I put that together a couple years ago at the request of my subscribers. I never really had one. They kept asking me. I decided to spend a little time putting together all the, everything that I do when I look at a trade and analyze it. I put that down together in a course, and I make that available for you guys. It's not free, but again, anything worth value shouldn't be free. But I didn't price it too bad. So check that out if you're interested. I think that's affordable, and that will help you build your skill set. One thing that I find that a lot of subscribers that have taken the course, they get the videos that I put out on the daily basis. I think they pick up on what I'm talking about just more intuitively and quicker. So you'll see the trade ideas. You'll see how it plays out. You'll see how things are set up. A trade is set up in advance. And then you'll see how to take action, and you'll understand how to take action. So if you're new and you haven't taken that course, I would strongly suggest it, and ask anybody who has taken the course what their opinion of it is. All right, it's not going to be the end-all, be-all. It's not going to be take the course and you're instantly rich. But the thing is that it should help you really consistently make profits. And I've got a lot of traders and subscribers that have taken it that have told me that since they've taken it, they've been profitable. I can't guarantee any of the profitability, obviously, because each person's different. Can't guarantee your emotions. I can't control that. But what I do try to teach is how to manage your risk, how to manage position sizing, how to evaluate trade setups, how to take action and know when to enter a trade, and how to take profit. All right? So, and how to read the charts. Number one, we use the charts as our guide. So, fundamentals play a part in my analysis, but in general, and that's why I look at the long-term interest rates. We look at that kind of stuff to understand that we might be at a shift, a kind of a major shift in the markets that no one that's really alive today has really experienced. I mean, not to say that no one that's alive today hasn't experienced, but for the most part, I know that the people that were alive back in the 70s when we had interest rates as a certain period of time, they might not have been in their, they might not have been investing at that point in time. Maybe they were in their 20s or, so most people, are experiencing a new shift. All right, so we look at that, but for the most part, we look at technicals. So what I'm going to do, what I'd ask for before we get started, I would ask that each person really try to limit what you want me to look at to, I'd say about 2 charts. Okay, I need to give everyone an opportunity to get their pick out that they want me to look at. So keep your request down to like 2 symbols, 2 charts that you want me to look at. I don't care if you comment and everything and interact within the live stream, but let's try to keep the picks to 2. And then the other thing is, guys, drop me a thumbs up. I do appreciate that. You know, I think everyone, you know, I'm putting in time here on Saturday, giving you guys trade ideas, and I'm asking for a thumbs up to help my channel. All right, that's you know, we're trying to build the channel, obviously. All right, let's get into it, and we'll get started. Looks like we've got a super chat, so I'll start off with those. If you guys want to do a super chat, I do appreciate that. I'll try to jump to you guys, but it's not required. So this super chat from Powell asks what I think about Intel, long or short. All right, so we can look at Intel. I can tell you right now, I think it started a bear market. We've looked at this one, but if you want to know the long, yeah, see, all right. So this is your bigger picture, all right? Always roll back to your large picture and kind of work your way down. I think when you're analyzing a stock, you know, I usually start out on the daily. Personally, I like to start on the daily chart, and then, but I always will take a step back and look at the weekly. I don't go into the monthly too often, but I'll look at the weekly. That gives me the information that I need, kind of longer picture. But the trades that I execute are really based on the daily chart, and then I use the hourly for fine-tuning my entry. All right. But all right, so Intel, this is 2009. This is your bull market, all right, in Intel. All right, you've been just riding up this bull market for the last decade or so, more than a decade. And as we zoom in, you can see, all right, we broke here in October of 2020. They recovered it, and we've broken again. Now this is more consistent with a bear market. All right, you break lots of weeks, big sell down, back test, and rolling over, making lower lows and lower highs. All right, so that's what I see. Bigger picture, Intel looks like it started a bear market. Okay, now that doesn't mean it just goes down tomorrow or the next couple of weeks, but bigger picture, over the next couple of years, most likely we'll work our way lower. Looking at the daily chart, I've got big support on the daily right there, about 43.50. Now you can undercut that level a little bit. Those are stop rates, but basically right around that 43.50 area is the big support. You can see all the reactions going back many years to that level. That's where the buyers have been stepping in. All right, so as I zoom in, all right, you can see there's a reaction, there's another one, and we are just slightly above it. All right, so on Friday, looks like they got close, 43.84 pennies, and they're still holding support. All right, so until that level breaks, that is support. All right, so you don't want to short right here. In my opinion, I wouldn't want to short right here. You're right above support. You haven't broke support, and yeah, that's it. I wouldn't want to short here. Now looking at the momentum indicators, you know, you've got some bullish divergence that's been building right here. Okay, that's on the RSI. We use these momentum indicators to give us a leading indication of where price is likely to head. Not guaranteed, but likely. So we have bullish divergence, meaning this is a divergent low. All right, take the course if you guys don't understand these concepts. I teach all this stuff. And all right, so bullish divergence at support. All right, I wouldn't short here. Doesn't mean we're not going to break down, but what I would do, and I think we will break down, to be honest, because I think the market's about to break. Again, my linchpin of the market right now is Apple, so I'm hyper-focused on that one. If I see that break in Apple, you're probably going to start seeing these things break big levels. You'll probably see Intel break this 43.50 area. But if we don't get the breakdown in Apple, then we're probably going to get another bounce. So we're at support. What I would do is wait for a breakdown or a sell signal, okay? And you can hone it down on the hourly chart. You start seeing hourly closes. Look for a nice impulsive break, you know, and if you're watching the market, you'll see it. You'll see the volume. You'll see the market, the algos kick in and just start to slam the thing as it breaks this level, or you'll get a gap down, okay? So that's the tricky thing about shorting shorting is sometimes when you have the market doesn't like to give shorts a beautiful entry oftentimes. So especially when you're at support, usually what it'll do, if you're at support, this is where the bull should step in and buy. But sometimes what it'll do is gap down and trap all the bullish money. All right. Everybody who's been buying at support, all right, they're buying. Maybe they're selling it up here, maybe not. But regardless, they're buying at support. And if you gap down, you trap in all those buyers into losses, and you don't give them an opportunity to get out. All right. Now, if you break the level and you just start selling down intraday, then the bulls can just get out and stop out with small losses. That happens sometimes too. So I don't know. I think you probably get a gap down, to be honest, just with the setup of the general market, but it's hard to say. I'm not going to short it. But if you got that gap down, you could, in my opinion, that would be your sell signal. And then it's probably going down to the next level of support, which is about 38. All right. That's the level that I got. So yeah, that's what I have on Intel. Thanks for the super chat. All right. Starting at the top, I'll just start working my way. AG. All right. So I own this one. It's not, it's sold off a little bit on Friday, down 4%. Let's see what happens. Let's look at the hourly, because that's kind of the key reason I've been buying this thing. On the hourly, we've got bullish divergence. Let me show you guys right here. That has not been negated. All right. You see, it's just continuing to extend. Now, divergence doesn't say, okay, this is a great time to buy, but it does tell you that the probability of, a trend reversal is elevated. So the probability of this downtrend being reversed is elevated. All right. Looking at the daily here, we've got some daily resistance. This is the trend line I was working off of. Here's your all-time highs. Here's another reaction. There's another one. There's a reaction kind of right in there. There's another one. This one overshot. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And look at this day. There's a slight reaction. So somebody was noticing that trend line. All right. Now Friday, they broke it down. All right. It's breaking below the trend line. Here's the thing though. I think it's going to be a false breakout. Breakdowns that occur when you have bullish divergence have a high probability of being a fake out move, a bear trap. All right. So it doesn't have to be a bear trap, but the probability is elevated. I want to put my money on the probability, the elevated probability that this is going to be a bear trap. And here's the other thing. We've got earnings coming up right here. So we're breaking down this key level with bullish divergence right before earnings. All right. I'm going to press my luck and continue to stay long on this thing. I haven't been adding, but I haven't been adding. I just have a position. But what you might want to do is if you see the recovery, snapback recovery, maybe it comes on earnings, then that bear trap will be confirmed. You'll have a false breakdown bear trap with bullish divergence. And that's an indication that, okay, we should get a pretty strong, powerful reversal. And I would likely add some on that recovery of the trend line for a move higher. All right. I think what happened is this is your bear trend. All right. This is your correction. All right. You have a big bullish trend. Then you have a big prolonged bearish correction, bullish falling wedge pattern. You break out, you back test, you break down, fake out the bears a little bit, run some stops, and then boom, off you go to new highs. All right. Above this level for sure. All right, I'm looking at way up here, maybe all-time highs. I don't know. I'm looking at the next leg higher in a prolonged bull trend. All right. Now, it's not going to do that. It's going to, work its way higher. But, okay, that's what I got there on AG. That's my analysis on that one. Now, you see those divergences get taken out, those bullish divergences. That changes the picture. All right. So we need to keep those bullish divergences intact on the hourly chart. But, going to the hourly, you can see, look at the RSI. Let me zoom in here. Starting to turn up. All right. Keeping that divergence. PPO still pointed down. You need to see that kind of do this cross and start to turn up. But, well, we'll see. All right. This chart's a mess now. But moving on. That's my analysis on that one. Ted asks if QQQ is 298, still considering to go long. Well, I'm not considering to go long. I'm going to cover my shorts most likely as we hit that support level. I got to watch how the market behaves though. Okay. I can't, I don't know how we're going to get down to 298. If we just gap down and have some sort of crashy move, we might break right down through 298 and head down to the next level of support. So again, I don't know how it's going to behave. And to say that I'm just going to go long, just before we actually get there and before I can get a look on the chart, I can't tell you that I'm going to go long. All I can say is there's a possibility I might go long if the chart looks like it's set up for a bounce there. Okay, but if we get there and it doesn't look like it's set up, I'm not going to go long. So we just have to wait and see how things look as we get there. If you get triple Qs, look, we closed at 309. The after hours, I saw we were down a little bit more, but we're getting really close. All right. If you look at the daily, I've been talking about this 300 area for months. Before all through here and after this bear, I talked about this being a bear market rally. Nobody believed it. At least not a lot of people. A lot of people on my channel believed it because they know how to read technicals. They've been following me, but there's also a lot of people that just are like, no, it's off to new highs and blah, 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 based on nothing, just hope and price action. Most retail traders follow price action. If markets are rallying, they're bullish. If markets are falling, they're bearish. All right. That's not the way to make money. All right. You need to basically go against the crowd if you want to be making money a lot of the time. And to give you guys an example, I was looking at these oil stocks. And, again, go back and look at my video. I think I put it back in November of 2020. I put a video called Oil Stocks. And all I did in that whole video was cover oil stocks because I talked about how they look like the most bullish setup. And I was pretty bullish on the oil stocks down here and buying them. And we got the breakout. And oil's been the best trade. All right. So that was the best trade for the last couple of years. All right. And, yeah, so you don't want to buy now retail. Everybody's loaded long in oil stocks. Kramer's all over the stuff. Everybody's loaded long. It's a crowded trade. I think we're due for a correction, a lot like you saw gold correct for a year and a half or so. I think we're going to see oil do that same kind of thing. Probably come down like on XOM. Probably come down maybe even to this trend line. Here's your kind of a longer term. Not the best trend line, to be honest. But look, you got 1, 2, 3. There's a consolidation. Maybe we correct back down, hit that. All right. And that might take a year or so to get down there. Probably be a buyer down there. All right. Moving on, guys. Block and AMZA. Well, investment trusts and mutual funds. That's what these guys do. Well, look, I mean, it's in a bear trend, all right? Downtrend. So that's obvious. Bullish divergence. Not confirmed. Let me move my little line thing here. All right, so you got, there it is. Oh, look, let's look at this PPO here. This is, yeah, not confirmed, pointed down still, so we'll see. The markets have bullish divergence as well. So I think a lot of the charts that we look at that have sold off quite a bit are going to have bullish divergence because the markets have bullish divergence. So let's just keep that in mind. Now, if the market's going to go into a bear market, we're probably going to burn through that bullish divergence and not going to get a rally. So that might play out here as well. I don't know if that's going to happen, but, look, I mean, so you broke this minor trend, you're down. I don't know, probably coming lower, way down here, I think, down to this range, somewhere in here. Down there at 2106. All right. I wouldn't go long this thing. I wouldn't short it either because look, it's already like way, wrecked. All right. So I don't want to short stuff that's way wrecked and chase a trade. I don't chase. All right. I don't want to short something that looks like this. And I don't want to go long something that's just ripping higher rallying. I don't want to chase trades. I want to get in when the smart money gets in before nobody sees the trade, and then when everyone sees it, that's usually about the time you start to look to exit. All right. So, and I don't know AMZA. Let me look. Well, this is the same thing. This one hasn't really broken down, so let's see what's going on here. You've got some negative divergence. I can see it right there, building on both momentum indicators. I don't think it's broke trend yet. Let's take a look. See if I can even make a trend on this. I'd probably go right about there. And right there, all right? It's about the best trend I can make. We got a reaction. They stepped in early there. Another reaction, stepped in early. There's a couple little tail wicks. You're above the 200. You're above the bullish trend. You have negative divergence. So not a reason to get out, but just be on watch. That's how I view it. We could continue to move higher. You break trend, that's probably your reason to get out. You'll probably get a bounce off the 200, but you're probably going to hit the 200, consolidate, and then ultimately you're going to take out the 200. It should look a lot like this, PANW. See what's going on here? Look at that chart. Very similar looking, isn't it? Bullish trend like that. Negative divergence, all right? And you took out the bullish trend, hit the 200 for a day or something. They stepped in a little early and then took out the 200, so lower. So I bet it'll look a lot like that, but you don't know when you're going to break, so you just have to wait. I wouldn't go long, though. I wouldn't put new money to work long, but if you are long, just you could wait for that sell signal. Of course, you're always at risk with earnings. Yeah, on semi, can you analyze look like holding better when washout? I don't know what that means, but if you're asking me, Coolin, if I should look at when to buy things like that, well, I'll let you know. I don't think we're there yet. You know, we're still looking. The shorts on some of the strong sectors is just getting started. All right, the FANGs, some of the semiconductors, that's just getting started. You look at like Nvidia. You know, it's just getting started. All right, Nvidia is very, very likely heading down to 147 and then down to 120, you know, here. All right, you're probably going to get a reaction at the top here and then a reaction here at 127. And probably a lot lower, to be honest, because, you know, you can hit way down here. If I roll out on Nvidia, this thing just got way out of bounds. There's your long-term bullish trend on Nvidia. See that on the weekly? All right, so there's my target longer term. But if we're going to go into a bear market, this is likely where Nvidia is going to bottom out. And who knows at what point in time, but we could be looking at about 80-90% drop. Very, very not very, very likely. I think it's probable, all right? And I would bet on it, to be honest. Yeah. And then the one I'm looking to short is AVGO. I don't think we broke trend yet. Yeah, we haven't. So you look at this one, Broadcom. This red one here, this was a trend. We broke it, back tested. So that was objective to short up there. But I'm kind of looking at this trend line right here. And you can see all the tags of support. There's another one. All right, just recently. I need to see this trend line go. When this goes, I'll be shorting this thing. And doesn't really have negative didn't really have negative divergence. So it's a stronger stock. Maybe we rally to make a new high and then break. I don't know. I'm not shorting it yet, waiting for the sell signal. All right, moving on. Watt? What is that one? I don't know what this is. This is medical, so XLV is going to be kind of your tell with the healthcare sector. And it's been one of the stronger sectors for sure. Here's your bull trend in XLV. This is going back to 2011. All right, this is the trend, bull trend I've got. We're still above trend, so probably going to come down to this 124.50 relatively soon and get a bounce. If you see the trend break, then that's a longer term sell signal. But we might get that bounce there. There's good horizontal support there and this uptrend line. So yeah, I don't know. And so Watt will maybe has a little more downside and then a bounce. Watt, if you look, I don't see any negative divergence, to be honest. This is in a bull trend, and it looks like it's in a bullish correction. All right, so this is a correction, like a flagging pattern almost. I'd go with like that, and then probably mark out. Let's see what we got. Interesting. So that looks like a bullish breakout to me. Did earnings just come out? Yeah, bullish breakout. This is a bullish chart, to be honest, when I look at this. So here's the reason why. Look at the momentum. It's moving lower right through here. So is price. All right, that's not divergence. Divergence is one moving in the opposite direction. Two paths diverge. But this is, so this is, and now you've got a bullish breakout. Momentum starting to move higher. Buy signal in my book, actually. So I would look at this as a breakout and a back test. And as long as you can kind of hold, and look at this little whip down below right there, a little bear, stop raid, shorts getting, trying to short, and then they, having to cover. So that's a bullish chart. I think it probably does this. I don't know how high, to be honest, but look at key levels of resistance. There's one. See that? Boom. You had a consolidation through here. You broke. Nice impulsive break. No volume, or no real elevated volume, but whatever. Then you hit support, resistance, resistance. All right. I would say that would be my probably first point of resistance. I think that's decent resistance. You got a little level right here too, so that's probably where it's struggling with for the time being, somewhere right in there. There's your two levels to watch, but number one, 338.88. You take that out, you should head up to 372.50. You got the 200, so it might bounce around, like break, hit, like that. All right, I like it, bullish. Moving on. FDX. All right, FDX, guys. Sorry, and I'll get to your chat. If you guys have a comment, I will get to your guys' thing. Acupuncture herb. Thanks for the super chat. I appreciate that. I don't see a pic that you want me to look at. I'll get to that next if I can find one. All right. FDX. FedEx. Bear trend. Probably a bullish falling wedge. Bullish divergence. This divergence actually is just really starting from here. Bullish divergence, bullish falling wedge. So it's a bullish setup. All right. That's what I see. But we are still in a bear trend. So, I don't know. It's not bullish here. I wouldn't go long here. All right. You got to wait for the breakout. So the way you can do this one is you can either buy it at support down here or wait for the bullish breakout. Earnings are coming up, so you might want to wait for earnings to get out of the way. They're coming here in June. And I've got this gap here to fill. So we're probably going to, at a minimum, fill this gap and head a little lower, dip down. Bigger picture though, this is a bullish chart or a bearish chart. Because look, you go to the weekly here. There's your bull market. All right, it's a couple whipsaws. It's not my favorite. I could probably move this down like that or something, but I don't know. We'll just leave it like that. And you've got a breakdown, big sell signal, a back test 1. Looks like a back test 2. Close enough, and starting a bear trend. So it is a bullish setup. I suspect this bullish setup fails to the downside, and you don't get the bullish trade that it looks like it would give us. What I would do is probably wait for the bullish breakout right here. I wouldn't buy at support. I would wait for the bullish breakout. If you don't get that, you're probably going to fail and take out the divergences and all that. All right, moving on. I did cover Intel already. Yep. Okay. Someone asked how I set alerts on the log scale. So I've been having some issues with TradingView on that as well. When you go to set the alert, you kind of right click and set the alert. It does tell you that it might not behave the same way as log scale. However, if you're close enough with a trade, if you've got a trend line that you're watching and you think it's going to play out relatively soon, I think if you set that alert on the log scale, it should still trigger the alert. It just will trigger it, I think, on the log scale basically versus the linear scale. If you take log scale off, things look a little different, but for the most part, in really narrow time frames when you're close, they're so close, you should get an alert within kind of the time frame that you're looking at. That's what I've noticed. The price will be, relatively right there basically. And so now if it's a longer term thing, you might get a weird behavior, but I've got to kind of look into that a little bit more as well. I do set the alerts though in TradingView, and they do trigger when they, sometimes they trigger when they hit the trend line and they don't actually break, they hit, but it cues me in to go take a look. So that's what I do. And I do get, I get alerts on TradingView. Okay. AMD. All right, I'm just getting into these guys. So, all right, AMD, broken bullish trend, starting a bear market. That's what I see. Resistance right here. I got to go to the daily chart, but all right, there's your resistance. Look, former support right there. Resistance 100. They gave you a beautiful shorting op just recently, 2 days ago. Rallied it right into resistance. Beautiful shorting op. Even on Friday, they popped it pretty close. But yeah, going lower, at least likely. Bullish divergence. Look, everything's got bullish. These are, look, there it is. Bullish divergence. So that's a divergent low. But I suspect this divergence gets burned through, to be honest. I think we roll down. Next level of support, 73.72. Good support down there. All right, look at all the reactions down here. So that's where I think we're heading. All right, that's what I got. NVIDIA, I covered that one already. KOS. Is this an oil? All right. So oil, guys, I am starting to think we're due for a correction. Doesn't mean we have to get it. And it's just because time has gone on, we haven't had a correction. Doesn't mean we're going to. But I'm starting to see signs in some charts that tells me technically we're going to get a correction. So, like, here's one, all right? See, this is a divergent, negative divergence here. Oh, sorry, this stupid thing. Negative divergence, right? Sorry, when these lines are so close to the thing, right there, and there it is. So this is a divergent high here, Another divergent high. There's another one. We're diverging. Each new high is a divergence. Now again, see how it keeps going higher? That's why divergence isn't a reason to short. It just tells you, okay, conditions are set up for a correction. We need to watch for a break of trend line support, which I've got. Let's see where this one goes, huh? Yeah, there we go. So there's your trend line, support, support, support. Little bear trap, support, support. All right, so we're well above there. But I would say with the chart, the way it's starting to look, I think you probably pull back to trend line support. Might be a buying opportunity, maybe not. We'll have to see how the chart looks, but I think it's likely going to do this. And then that's it. You know, that'll be support. So then if you see that break, that's your sell signal. If it doesn't break, that's your buying opportunity. You could buy it here with a stop somewhere below. I would not buy it anywhere. I would not want to go long until I'm at this trend line. All right, looking at the hourly. Yeah, building a little momentum here, slight momentum. So again, like if you want to narrow it down, you got to like this little hourly thing right here. You probably have to wait for a break of that. Then you should head down to the mid trend line. You get the break of that. That's a long-term sell signal. I don't know if we're going to get all that, but I would say it's likely we're probably going to get a break sometime soon down to the trend line. From there, I don't know. All right. All right, I'm just scanning through here. Yeah, I don't know what QQQs is going to do down at that 299, 298, 300 area. We got to wait and see. But I do think it's likely we get down there. We continue to work our way down there. So I think it's very likely we get down there. If we burn through the bullish divergences that are on triple Qs right now, if we get down there and we burn through those divergences, then I think it's very likely we're going to continue lower, or it's just telling me, okay, we are in a bear market and we're going to go lower. All right. Doesn't mean we crash lower. Maybe we get a bounce. If I see a sign of a bounce, guys, I'll point it out. I'll let you know. All right. But I just don't see it yet. Crescent Point Energy, CPG. All right. Probably another oil stock. Yep. So again, guys, everyone, this is a crowded trade, just so you know. It's a crowded trade now. You know, we were buying this stuff back in November of 2020. Now everyone wants to own the oil sector. All right, there's your bullish trend, little bear trap there. Island cluster bottom. All right, that was a sign. That's a nice trade if you saw that gap up. All right, that would have been your signal for a long. So still above the bullish trend. All right. Building some negative divergence from here. All right. It's building. This is a penny stock. It's kind of a junk stock, so it's gonna be whippy and volatile, but building some negative divergence above the bullish trend. Until you see the break of the trend, it's still bullish. All right. But that doesn't mean it can't come all the way down here. And even a drop from where we're at is still a 8, 10%, 5%, depending on when we get there. So, you know, if I was long, I would stay long, and I wouldn't get out until I saw the break of the trend. But don't underestimate the rush for an exit in a crowded trade. All right. You get that, you know, it will be swift. Disney. Bullish divergence, like the market plummeting right into earnings. It's probably going to bounce on earnings, guys. That's what I would say. Likely going to get a bounce on earnings. We got this pretty steep downtrend. Not a great trend, though. Not a lot of reactions there. It's creating this bullish falling wedge pattern. You probably work your way in the wedge until you get to earnings, and then get some sort of a breakout on earnings up to this trend line up here. So it'll be a bear market rally. Yeah, I like this one. It'll be a bear market rally in Disney. That's what it looks like it's going to do. Bounce on earnings, bear market rally, continue lower over the long term. Okay. Tesla. Oh, JNPR. Sorry guys, don't want to skip. At the same time, I don't want to go through. Just give me 2 picks, guys. Don't give me more. All right. I want to get through everyone's. All right, bullish. What's going on with this one? Sorry, I got to get over to the daily. I was like looking at that like this is weird. Probably go about there. All right, zooming in. Yeah, they're battling for this trend. You can see the battle pursuing. You got the sell signal, all right? So I would go with the sell signal. The bears are winning this battle, but it definitely was a battle over the last couple weeks. But look, you break, back test, you break, you back test, you break. Kind of back testing. They held the 200. Still a sell signal. And if you look at the bigger picture, it's bear flagging. So you probably go like that and then mark out like your hourly. I like to use the hourly to get fine-tune my flag. Somewhere right in there. And then, yeah, kind of flagging-ish. So you probably break to the downside of this flag, and then what you want to do here is just take the original flagpole and kind of mark it out like that, which would project the target down to about 28. And we got some support right there. Okay, that would be my target on this one. Let's double check the divergences just to make sure we actually had some, and we did. So there's your negative divergence here and here. All right, so that told you we were going to break. The break came on a gap down, which is impulsive and traps the longs, and you can see the battle that's going on. Haven't really given these longs that got kind of trapped in here their opportunity to get their money back, and so I don't think they will get their opportunity. I think they will become sellers as this starts to break to the downside, and this is going to be the fuel to move it down here. All right, so I'd look at I'd say about 28-ish, 27.50 as the profit target. I like this short. It's not too far away from the trend line either. So, but at this point with the flag pattern, I'd probably just wait to take out these lows of these cluster in the daily, and then that would be your short for a move down. All right, I like that one as a short. Tesla, guys, I cover Tesla in my videos. I'll do it real quick. Same kind of battle, should go lower. All right, next target 782, 288 is where I have it. We should hit that and much lower, but probably a bounce there. Well, T and VZ for a dividend. I can't give you the, you can ride something down the drains and collect a dividend the whole way. You're still going to take on losses. This one's absolutely plummeted, huh? What's going on with this? That is 15% a week-ish, 2 weeks? That's crazy. See if I can make some sort of organization with this. These things are can be kind of messy, but there you go. Something like this. All right, I think it's in a bear trend. That must be COVID. Yep, that's COVID. All right, bear trend. And look where it's getting rejected. We broke the trend line. All right, it's not a perfect trend line, but it's good enough for what I'm trying to display. Resistance through here, but your sell signal came here, and downtrend. All right, higher or lower highs, lower lows, getting rejected at the 200, rejected, rejected, rejected. They do these little pops above it to give people hope, keep people in the trade. impulsively rejected. Bear trend, all right? It's obvious now, so I wouldn't want to be owning this thing to collect a dividend. The dividend's not going to cover inflation along with deflation that's happening in this thing. So I would say lower. All right, and I'm sure AT&T looks the same. Gave my view on oil already. Real estate should be a sell. Here's the home builders. All right, bullish trend, broke trend, negative divergence right here. Broke trend and down ever since. Bear market. All right, from the highs to where we're at, what, down 30%, bear market. It does have bullish divergence on the daily right here. So maybe we get a bear market rally. And that could be possible, guys. I'm completely open to that. So there's your trend line on the daily, something like that. You see a break out of this downtrend, you're probably going to rally up to the 200 and get rejected up there. So that would be my trade, probably would be break a trend, rally up to the 200. If you're long, exit the long and flip short. But we don't have the break yet. So until you see that break, I wouldn't go long. There's some support down here. Okay, that's what I see, you know. You see a breakout here, and you're probably going to get a rally to the 200. It'll be a bear market rally. Bear market rallies are great. You can go long, take the rally, flip short. You can make a killing. That's what I'd be looking to do if I see the breakout of this trend. It's going to probably depend on the market and interest rates. You're going to want to watch the TLT for this one. The TLT is just plummeting, all right, which means the interest rates are spiking. So this can't go, if this continues to drop and the interest rates continue to spike, we're going to have systemic risk. We're going to have bigger problems in the economy. You're going to have things start to blow up. Pension funds, hedge funds, things are going to start to blow up. And, that's going to be a problem. So, if this should turn around soon, because if it doesn't, there's bigger problems. All right. I'm going to try to go a little faster because I only got a few more minutes. BST, Oracle. All right, Oracle should be a sell. ORCL. Bear market. All right, that's it. Bear market. Sell the rips. Next level support, 66. BST. Now look, sorry. You've got bullish divergence. You're going to have that. Well, actually, let me go back. Never mind. You don't have bullish divergence. Next level support should be 66. You're probably going to have bullish divergence down there, but 66-ish. And then BST, BlackRock Science and Technology. Coming into some support right here, 35.80. Bullish divergence is there. So yeah, you probably hit that and get a bounce. That would be a buy zone for me. Could have a little brief undercut and then a recovery. If you see that, that's the buy. That would be your buy signal. But you're probably going to hit this area of support, 35.86, and they're either going to step in early or they might undercut it and recover. I would say they're probably going to undercut it and then recover. All right, so look for that. If you see that, that would be a buy signal. And from there, you've got this trend line to watch. Now, again, this is only a bear market rally, all right? This thing's in a bear market. So there's your downtrend. Maybe you do something like this, hit, maybe break, recover. I don't know how it gets there, but maybe you finally break this down, this uptrend, run up to the 200, which will be about there, and then drop more. Or could be the bottom. I don't know. But I would prefer to go long on this more than short, and I'd be looking for signals of when to enter. All right. Take my course if you haven't, if you want to get an idea on how to enter trades. I teach that. All right. Someone said I called oil at mid 30s, high 60s, and lots of other things. Yep. Yeah. Thank you. I covered Nvidia. Google should continue lower. Shop got wrecked. That's a dumpster fire. All right, so there's Shop. Let's see what I got going on here. All right, so I've got some support on Shop down here at 291-ish, down to, it's about 305. That's my target. It has not hit that yet, so I think we go lower. I covered Verizon. AT&T is going to be the same. XLRE, that's real estate. I kind of talked about that. PayPal, PYPO. All right, so there's my support right there. 72-ish. Got bullish divergence. All right, so we're probably going to run down to 72 and then get a bear market rally. This thing's ripe for a bear market rally, but you know, we need to see it. We need to see the breakouts, and probably going to have to start looking at something like that, or you could run it down to the hourly and see if you can get, you know, a better entry. But yeah, down here 72-ish should maybe find that bear market rally, and then it could be powerful. You know, we could even see a rally run up and hit the trend line. I don't know if we'll get that. I don't think we will, but we could. And then continue lower, all right, over the next couple years. All right, this is going back to 2016. Your bull market's dead in this. All right, you don't go into a bull market, break into a bearish trend, and then just, okay, that's all there is, on to a new bull trend. No, not especially when the broader markets like Apple hasn't even started its bear market. And so if Apple starts a bear market, it's going to be a constant drag on things like these. Although in the short term, you might get a bear market rally. I would not be long this until I see signs of an entry, which I don't. So lower in the short term at least. X. This is steel. Bullish chart, bullish trend to me. Correcting here and now. This is very similar to silver. All right, this is a commodities thing. And we're bottoming, we're hitting the 200. What do I got going on with this chart here? All right, so here's your weekly. There's your bear market. You have to realize this was in a bear market when all the tech stocks and everything was in a bull market for the last 10 years. X has been in a bear market. The commodities have been in a bear market. They've reversed, and they're now in a bull market, and that's what I see here. So this looks like a buy zone, all right? I would be a buyer here. And let me just double check a couple things. So you've got some bullish divergence that's starting to build on the daily. This looks like silver to me. It's very similar. You're probably going to knock out a bottom. So that means that we're probably going to kind of chop and make slightly new lower lows like that, grind out a bottom, and then boom, off she goes. Looks like it's close to the bottom though. I mean, the trend line is right here, 75, 72. You probably get a touch of that one of these days for briefly, but I'd be a buyer. All right, I'm a buyer. For me, I'd be a buyer anywhere from the 200 down to that trend line, not below. But what's likely going to happen, maybe you undercut the trend line and recover it. If you see that, buy, in my opinion. But I'm a buyer on this one. A little lower maybe, but if you're long term, it's close enough. But, you know, the perfect entry is maybe down at the 200 or slightly lower, 75, 70, or 25, 75. XRT, did I cover that one? Retail. All right, let's look at retail. Bear market. Sell the rips. That's it. Yeah. It's kind of interesting there, huh? Bullish divergence, downtrend, maybe a breakout and some back testing. Could be due for a rally, bear market rally. Again, bear market rally, so sell the rips. If you were going to go to the 200, that's a beautiful short. Would I go long here? I don't know if I'd go long here, you know, to be honest. You could with the stop somewhat below. But, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't short it here. If I had to pick, I'd probably go long. But, you know, I'm just, with Apple sitting right there on the edge, it's kind of like, all right, if Apple can hold, then you might get that bear market rally here. All right, I am moving on. TNX, that's your interest rates. They're spiking, looking crazy. You can hold through a correction. I'd be a dip buyer in oil stocks, but again, a correction. Let's go to gold. I want to show you what I think oil is going to look like. All right. So here is gold bullion, right? So look, this is what oil is like right now. All right. I don't know if we've seen the parabolic spike yet, so we might still get that. Okay. That's why I'm saying I don't want to short oil yet. Some of the oil stocks I do want to short because they've got sell signals, but not all of them. We might get the parabolic spike. You might not. I don't know. But the thing is, oil looks like it's somewhere in here, and the correction is not going to just be like a 2-week correction. It's going to be like a year and a half probably. It's going to just grind around and grind you to death. You're going to be holding through all this lower and lower, day in and day out, with little spikes of hope and lower. It's going to be very depressing in terms of your price action. You'll feel like, oh, it's done nothing. Oil's dead. You know, by the time it's ready to turn around, you'll have been worn down. So that's all I'm saying. Gold is like, you know, you've corrected for over a year and a half. You're now getting to the area where the smart money is going to want to buy, and the people that have been holding this through this correction for 2 years, they might have just thrown in the towel. All right. So if you can ride that out and you're truly long term, then, you know, I wouldn't worry about it, because I think oil is probably going higher. It's a commodity, and commodities seem to be in a new bull market. But they have multi-year corrections within a bull market. All right. Yeah, I think natural gas is probably going lower. We'll see. SLVO. That's a train wreck city. I don't know. Wouldn't touch that one. There's no sign. There is no sign here of anything bullish. Downtrend. You don't have bullish divergence. Probably going to take out these COVID lows. This thing's a train wreck. This is some pump stock. Oh, this is options. All right, this is going to downtrend. This probably has decay. So over the long term, this will continue to go down. All right, it will have spikes, but this is a short-term trading vehicle. You know, so this is not a buy and hold or anything. This is probably a, you know, you look for little pops and you catch quick little breaks. All right, that's it on that one. I don't see I don't see it. I don't see anything I'd want to be involved on this one. I did PayPal. You can go back and watch that. Vale. Oh, Vale. Probably coming in for a correction. That's your divergent high. That was a divergent high. Here's a trend line to watch. You break the trend line, down you go. Probably gonna hit this trend line. I'd be a buyer down there, to be honest. All right. So more downside most likely, and probably would want to be a buyer. Now you want to see some divergence show up. If it's got bullish divergence as it starts hitting this trend line, I'd want to be a buyer. CLF. Is that rail? Oh, this is one of those pump stocks. This one was like, wasn't this like some crazy pump stock? Let me look. So it hit resistance, rejecting. It's probably coming into. It's probably going to come into this level right here, and 1292. I probably going to come down to here, and that to me looks like a good buy zone. Somewhere down there probably. That's what I would say. I'm not really that interested in it. It's just the chart's not great, but looks like it did a back test at resistance. Didn't really have negative divergence on the daily at least. Coming down, hitting, I don't know. Could head down there. I don't have a strong opinion on it. Yep, back test on X. I like X for a long. Covered that. What is, no, I've covered some from you already, Gianfranco. Robolux. Well, that's one of those pump stocks. Don't they do like, I don't even know what the symbol is. Don't they do like gaming or something? Yeah, Trainwreck City. This was one of those pipe stocks that everybody was, one of them. Not as strong, but all right, there's your bear trend. Somewhere right in there, mark it out. Look, I don't know if it recovers, because how would I know that? Like, what, that's a fundamental case, right? So this is technicals. You're coming into earnings here next week on the 10th. You've got some bullish divergence, so maybe you bounce, all right? But what I would say is, unless you break this trend line here, whatever bounce you see is a bear market rally, all right? That's probably what it's going to do. It can probably rally. Look, it can rally up 35%, hit the trend line, still just be in a bear market, all right? So until you see the trend line, I don't see a recovery. And I'm not going to speculate on the earnings. I don't know what comes out on earnings, Okay, let's see here. Yeah, Google's going lower, guys. I've talked about this. It's going lower, most likely. Look, there's your bull trend coming off 2015. All right, tag that. We're probably going to head down in here. I've got it circled. 2000. It's not going to be down here because we're not going to just plummet. So it'll probably be about 2000-ish, maybe yeah, I'd say about 2000-ish when we hit some sort of support. Okay, so watch for that. Should go lower. You don't have, look, you don't even have, look, here's this thing. I want to point this out real quick. See this right here? This is what the chart looked like a couple weeks ago or whatever. Looked like that. That's bullish divergence. We hit a low. That's a divergent low, all right? Bullish divergence. You got to rally, all right? Boom, and then you come in and you still have the bullish divergence in the RSI, but it's gone in the PPO. Cleanly taken out. Probably going to get taken out in the RSI. Heading lower. One more, guys, then I got to wrap up. Drop me a thumbs up if you haven't done so. It looks like most of you guys have. Check out the stock market technical analysis course. Good value there. Even with the new price, still a very good value. All right, a lot of these guys are charging, you know, thousands of dollars for their course, and I think it's just ridiculous. All right, we don't need to charge that. I don't need to charge you guys that. All right, this is going to give you guys a skill set. I'm not going to guarantee you're going to be a profitable trader, but I can at least teach you a set of skills that you can apply to the charts, you can apply to your trading, and you can, you know, it's going to help elevate your probability. All right, that's what it will do. And again, it supplements the videos that I put out. So, you know, I can't state enough how strongly it is important to build your fundamentals and learn the strategy, not just look for me to throw out trade ideas. I'll throw them out there when I see them. Jump on them if you like them. Jump on them if you know, don't take it if you don't like it. Some of them I take, some of them I don't. I typically let you guys know which ones the trades that I take. I let you know where my profit target's at. I let you know if I stop out. I'm not going to be able to give you guys the perfect entry, because when I see an entry, I try to get a video out pointing out the entry. The perfect entry is usually gone. All right, when opportunity shows up, people see it, they jump on it quickly, and that opportunity fizzles out pretty quickly for the best entry. But if you have the course and you have the skills, you'll see it. All right, I'll point it out in advance, and then when it shows up, you'll be one of those people that can jump on that opportunity when I'm jumping on it. All right, so check that out. Link in the description below if you haven't done so. And my last thing for the day, Barrick. I don't like Barrick quite yet. All right, I think maybe a little more downside. The gold stocks. I like the gold stocks, and we can just go into the gold stocks real quick for the last thing. Barrick here, you know, I don't know. I think we get that 200-day tag. To me, it looks like Barrick maybe has another leg lower, down to about 2050 or so. I like it down there. Thanks, Dallas. Appreciate that. I like Barrick down here. So some of the gold stocks have decent setups. They look like they're in the support zone. Some don't. You know, like BTG just hit the 200, bounced. Maybe we come down, do it again, keep a bullish divergence. Looks like it's bottoming. I see the silver stocks, PAAS, looks like it's bottoming. All right, looks like we had a breakout and a back test. We're kind of bottoming out. It's just taking a couple days. We're gonna get little moves that just do little fake out undercuts kind of things and wash people out, but it looks like it's bottoming. HMY, again, looks like it's bottoming. All right, we had a breakout and back test. You're holding just in this area with these little spike downs, and the buyers are snatching it up. And you've got, looking at the hourly, bullish divergence. All right, so see, we're keeping the bullish divergence alive while we continue to kind of spike down and grind out a bottom. Looks like a bottoming setup. All right, we keep spiking down. Looks like opportunities to build a position long for a move higher. So that's what a lot of these look like. They don't all look like that. This one, AU, just looked like it hit on Friday. Here's your daily chart. Not my favorite chart, but it's okay. Resistance. So you got the breakout coming down in, spiking down. See that? Below the 200, but just briefly. And we're hitting We're hitting that trend line that I have. Looking at the hourly, bullish divergence here on the hourly. All right, so we keep kind of making these new lower lows, kind of coming down, but it's not going too much lower. It's just kind of making these new lower lows while holding the bullish divergence into this support. So I'm kind of looking at this like buying opportunities. Maybe we do it again, buying opportunity, you know. So we could drift lower. And I'm starting to build positions long in some of these. All right, so I'm buying not all at once, but I'm buying as we start hitting these things. I'm kind of scanning across my miners, looking for days that we're hitting our support lines and adding to those for the next leg higher. All right, this is your correction in this one. You break out, you back test, and boom, we should do that over time. That's all I got for today, guys. Thank you. I will catch you on Monday. And have a good weekend.